Let's get to some statements here on Mackey and Judd. And these statements this week are presented by our friends at Dennis Kirk, all right? It's riding season in the Twin Cities, and if you're looking to get out and have that wind blow in your gorgeous hair like Declan, look at those curly locks.
Thank you.
Dennis Kirk has you covered. They've got 160,000 parts and accessories in stock. Whatever you ride, Harleys, Metro Cruisers, sport bikes, you'll find what you need at DennisKirk.com. Order before 8 p.m. They ship the same day, and shipping is free for orders over $89. When the open road calls, head to DennisKirk.com. They ship today.
Can I start? Can I start weekend statements?
Oh,
Can I make the executive decision and start weekend statements?
It's your show.
Dude,
Thank you.
Dude, it's your show.
The
now.
ampersand speaks.
Yep, the ampersand speaks here. I want to bring back what Judd was just talking about.
This is like Declan is like Prince when he changed his name to the artist formerly known as, and his name was just a symbol. Declan is the symbol in Mackey and Judd. Yes.
The producer formerly known as Declan Goff is now the ampersand. That is correct. So when Judd was just talking about reckless speculation and embracing that lifestyle, and we're in summertime now. 4th of July is less than a week away. We're in the heart of it. So I want to kick off with this statement. Forget hot boy or hot girl summer. It is reckless speculation summer. That is the summer we are on right here. With Jack Eichel, other wild centers that could be traded, Ben Simmons, Dame Lillard, a trade deadline that's a month away.
Make the call.
We have so much ammo at our disposal over the next. But people are always saying, especially this time of year, at least to me, what the hell do you talk about now? Like it's late June, the Twins are a disaster. They're the only team playing. It's like the worst time of the NFL offseason. What the heck could you even be talking about? Oh, what are we going to talk about? We have trades on the horizon for 3 of the 4 major teams. There's speculation being thrown out there from national reporters. It is reckless speculation summer, not hot girl or hot boy summer. Reckless speculation season summer has started. So that is my opening statement.
We deserve it. And I'll tell you, unlike Boston and LA, some of these cities that enjoy their little championship parades and whatnot, and that's great, okay? Well, you know what? We are the home of things that could happen, all right? When you don't have championships that actually do happen, then damn it, you are the home of things that could potentially someday, hypothetically, happen.
Hey, we're being tied to these guys, though. That's the best part about this. Like, we're now actively being tied in this town to some top-level talent that might be traded. Because you know what? Declan's right. It is the summer of reckless speculation. Go ahead and speculate. Do it over a beer. Do it over a cocktail, a seltzer. We don't care what you do it with. Just make sure that you do it at least once a day. It's good for your health.
Mm-hmm. All right. My first statement here, a little controversial here. We'll dive more into this on Purple Daily, too. But Patrick Peterson may have just poured gasoline on a fire inside the Vikings locker room. Do we have his clip from his podcast, Declan?
Yeah, let me load this in quick. But yes, we do have it.
So Patrick Peterson does a podcast once a week. It's on YouTube. I think CBSSports.com or their network. I think they produce it. And he's had Kirk Cousins on the show before. He's been talking openly about his OTA and minicamp experience. And obviously he's a very affable and charismatic guy that I think has a great future in media at some point if he wants it. Have I stalled enough for you to play this clip?
Almost. It's I'm just getting a little spiral wheel of doom. And yes, we have stalled perfectly. Here is the clip.
So why go through why put yourself at risk of going through that again? You know what I mean? Everybody have their different views on the COVID, right? On the shot. No matter which brand it is, everybody have their different views. But at the end of the day, if we're all in this and trying to win a championship, and if it's a very small percentage of, those shots affecting people, why not put yourself in the best position possible to win a championship?
And then he went on to say, if you're not vaccinated, you're just living in a different world. I am vaccinated. I was perfectly fine. So why is that notable? We're not here to start a big vax versus anti-vax debate. We're here to talk about this comment and its effects on the Vikings locker room. Well, Harrison Smith, Adam Thielen, and kind of Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins chose to just not talk about his vax status, but then he went on to say, we're taking it a week at a time or a month at a time. So, I would venture to say there's at least 3 very prominent Vikings players who are publicly not vaccinated, right? And Mike Zimmer has gone on the record and said, hey, it's going to be a huge pain in the ass for yourself and for the team if you're not vaccinated. And now Patrick Peterson is saying the same thing over on the defensive side of the ball. I guess what I would worry about here, boys, is I think the Twins hit some really turbulent waters early in the season with a anti-vax contingent in the clubhouse and then an actual COVID spread throughout the clubhouse. The team not reaching the vaccination threshold and then not being able to go out on the road, and just like all these things that limit your ability to mesh as a team for the first 3 months of the baseball season. I don't want that to happen for the Vikings. And so these comments were very interesting when I heard them for the first time.
Yeah, it doesn't help. It is your QB, who clearly is one of the players who's not vaccinated, when he's going to be. This all comes back to can he play? You don't care about his political beliefs, his religious beliefs. None of that's important. The only thing that the fan base cares about is, are you available to play on Sundays? Which Kirk, to his credit, throughout his career as a starter, has been. He's missed one start in the last 5 or 6 years, and that was because in 2019, the Vikings playoff spot was locked up, and they elected to sit him in that last game. So, yeah, this is a very interesting thing, and I think this is going to be a problem in locker rooms for more than one team, because the variant that's out there now is not slowing down. So it's not like people aren't getting sick. They are. If they're vaccinated, they have a better chance of not being sick and or being past it quicker. But like when you look at the crackdowns going on, there is no question going to be a few teams that have real issues with this. And the only question right now is which ones? Vikings, it could be, for sure. So yeah, it's going, because the one area where I don't think fans get this yet, the one area where we're all going to pull together is everyone to a man is going to be mad if a guy can't play. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, he can't play, but good for him. He didn't get the So that's the one galvanizing thing is, if your team is playing the Packers and Kirk Cousins can't start, no one's going to say, yeah, or I should say this. Very few are going to say, yeah, but Kirk made his point. They're going to say, where the hell's Kirk?
By the way, the WNBA just announced this morning, too, that 99% of the league's players are fully vaccinated, and they haven't had a single COVID case. So all 12 teams have met the threshold for being considered a fully vaccinated team.
Good for them.
That's how you do it.
It's pretty amazing.
That's how you do it.
All right, Judd.
Good for them.
You're up next.
All right, my weekend statement is this. Why'd you wait so long? So Josh Donaldson yesterday, before the Twins play Cleveland, closes the clubhouse, kicks out Rocco and the boys, and addresses his teammates, I guess in a fairly fiery, passionate speech about how the season's not done yet. And if you look at the Twins schedule, they're essentially playing AL Central opponents for the next month. And then, Josh goes out and plays a very good game for the most part, hits a home run, makes a great defensive play in the 9th. And the Twins beat Cleveland, and they won 2 of 3. And, Rocco talks about how great it was that Josh did this because he's got the street cred to carry weight with his teammates when he talks.
It's like July.
And that, and then he went out and backed it up with this great game. It's June. It's almost July. You're right, Phil. And this team has been a mess. And this is when you're going to do this. Now, to his credit, Nelson Cruz did the same thing, but he did it like a month and a half ago when you probably should have. I guess my question is, why are we giving a guy congratulations for doing this now when, look, you and the Royals and Tigers all, how can I put this bluntly, suck, okay? You're all terrible. I mean, the Twins, they're not that bad. You know why? Because the division's terrible. I mean, Cleveland's got no pitching left. Cleveland's a mess, too. The White Sox are clearly the best team. But my point being is, yeah, it's almost July 1st. Why did you wait so long?
Well, can we prove that he didn't have some sort of and maybe it just didn't get reported, right? It's a lot harder in the Zoom era of covering a baseball team to even know that a guy, like, how did we even find out that he did it? Did Rocco say something?
Rocco talked about it, yeah.
So and it's possible that Josh did this 3 times in April and May, and Rocco just didn't bring it up, Well,
why? Because they lost games right after? I mean, but if you're going to give him credit now, then I think it's fair to say, okay, did you do this before? Or like, is this your line in the sand? We're terrible. I'm going to talk to you now.
Yeah, I think my response to it would be, if you're still looking like you're still double digit games. What are you, 10 games below 500 and like 10 and a half out of first place or whatever it is after yesterday, 10 and a half or 11. Awesome. Like, I love that there's still some fire and some passion, and I love that the team is still. It's still. I mean, like, especially the lineup. Like, there's on paper, this lineup is a good lineup, and in a couple spots, even just in reality, it's a good lineup. So I'm fine with it. I'm guessing he probably did do something similar early in the year because that's the type of guy Josh Donaldson is. But I have a sort of a spin-off of your statement there. I wish Nelson Cruz could play for the Twins forever. He is so fun to watch hit. And I was so curious this morning. I woke up just talking
Sweating.
back and forth, was sweating for one profusely. Thinking about breakfast sandwiches and also Nelson Cruz's place in Twins history. And he now, among Twins hitters in the history of their franchise, 60 years, with over 1,000 plate appearances, he is the leader in OPS. By the way, he's the leader in OPS by 100 points over the second place guy, Harmon Killebrew. Think about that for a second. Slugging percentage and runs created per plate appearance. You could make a case that Nelson Cruz is the best hitter in Twins history. Now, I get that some guys did it for 10 or 15 years, like Joe Mauer over a decade. I just feel like he deserves dramatic Game 6 ALCS plate appearances that the Twins just cannot obviously give him, and it's sad. I want him to play in a Twins uniform. Is like if he's going to hit for 2 or 3 more years, I want it to be in a Twins uniform. But you can't guarantee that he's not going to fall off the cliff. He's a free agent after the year is over, and so they're almost certainly going to have to trade him sometime in the next 2 or 3 weeks, which sucks because you literally can make a case he's the best hitter in Twins history. And we're going to have to say
yeah, but he's about to turn
him.
41. It's fine. Leave him in Chicago. Leave him with the White Sox. Make the trade now. Leave him in Comiskey or I don't know.
But it's amazing. Like,
rate field.
They've just sort of wasted Nelson Cruz, like by starting guys like Randy Dobnak against the Yankees, or by the rest of the lineup soiling itself in 2019 and 20
or
playoffs.
Rocco pulling starters against Houston. Yes.
Yeah. They've just sort of wasted one of the great 3-year runs of Twins hitting in history.
That's really sad. It's time to trade him. Time to move him. Move him to the White Sox. He hits great there. Give him a gift.
He hits great everywhere.
Everywhere.
But I'm saying in guaranteed rate field, the statistics are unbelievable. They're good everywhere. They are great there. And look, I'm looking to help him out. He's going to be 41 on July 1st, which is Thursday. Happy birthday, Nelson Cruz. You're not going to come back with us. You're staying in Chicago. I mean, Chicago's a great town, too.
There's also a report today. I think it's John Heyman. The White Sox are very close to acquiring Eduardo Escobar. And that's another thing we can talk about this week. How many times have the Twins had a chance since they became relevant again in 2001? 2001, they fell short of the playoffs, but they've been relevant for the off and on for the better part of 20 years. And they had that little 5 or 6 year stretch. But how many times over those 20 years have they made a really bold move at the deadline? Not like Shannon Stewart was a bold move in 2003. I'll give him that. I'll give him Shannon Stewart in 2003.
And that was not officially a deadline deal, right? That was an earlier July deal.
It was
it was close, but it wasn't. But like on deadline day, so when teams like the Twins have made moves that are clear, oh wow, that took balls, right? You're right. They just basically don't. They basically don't.
And now that you've sort of reflected the last couple of years, the 2019 Bomba squad, right? The greatest home run hitting team in really baseball history. I get that the balls were different and whatnot.
Right.
And there are sort of 2 schools of thought for why they made 2 moves. One for Sergio Romo, one for Sam Dyson, which is one of the most epic screw-ups at the trade deadline in recent baseball history. So they just played their cards close to the vest. They were conservative. They were passive because they were thinking, well, we can't give up, whether it's Larnach or Kirilloff or, Royce Lewis. Like, we've got a future to protect here for the next 6 to 7 years. So we're just entering this window. We got to be careful. Well, that should be a good lesson. And they should have learned it before. They should have learned the lesson in 2010, ownership anyways. I know it's a different front office. That your window isn't guaranteed. It's never guaranteed. And they just took it. I think they were so presumptuous that, well, we'll see what this lineup can do in the postseason without adding any meaningful pitching or any other sort of help to this thing, or like a real meaningful bullpen arm. And we're going to protect that 5 or 6 year window with these young players. Well, look at now it's shutting. Unless you think they're going to contend in 2022, and maybe
that team in 19 was ready to pop itself. Like that was. They basically protected, okay, in 2022, we're going to be really, really good, so we can't trade those guys. But that 2019 team, in my opinion, had nothing to do with the future. That was a lot of guys who were having great years, and you had to capitalize. And we talked about it, Phil, on the old show constantly. Like, you got to make one of these trades, and you go get 2 guys for the bullpen, one who's old and one who turned out to be injured and a complete jerk, and he couldn't pitch. Those were your moves. And then you're right. The fact that Randy Dobnak had to start a game, or the fact that you started Dobnak in a game at Yankee Stadium, will be forever one of the most inexcusable things done, I think, in Twins playoff history.
Yeah. And I know that people are going to say, well, like Zach Greinke, who was really that was the guy in 2019, Zach Greinke. Well, he had like half the league was on a no trade list, including the Twins, and so maybe he wasn't going to waive it to go to the Twins. Marcus Stroman was the other guy available, and by the way, he's been excellent. He opted out last year because of COVID, but whether it was Stroman or somebody that maybe wasn't even named, like you have to get creative and aggressive sometimes, and be willing to lose a trade in the long haul, like the Cubs did a couple of times to win a World Series. And this franchise has just shown time and again. And obviously they're not going to have a chance to make that decision this year unless they win about 10 games in a row here against division opponents. But I think this season makes me more upset about 2019, the way it's played out, and the fact that Nelson Cruz is going to be gone here at some point. It's frustrating.
Yep. And keep in mind the untouchable, right? The one guy who everyone was like, you can't go near him. No. Royce Lewis. Royce Lewis hasn't played now since what, 2018 or 19? That's the last time he played. So, like, for all of these conversations about Royce Lewis he's the future, he's going to be great. You don't know that. You can't know that.
But it's also, like, I think it's also assumed, too, that if they turn out to be great, then the world is ending and it's but okay, look at some of the players the Cubs traded to get short-term pieces. Aroldis Chapman. Sometimes you have to be willing to watch a guy go tear it up 3 years down the road for another franchise if you're in a win-now window, and the Twins have just never been willing to do that. All right, we got Declan here.
Yeah, 2 statements within one here. Number 1, 11 games back is nothing to be proud of. So the Twins are currently 11 games back, and they have a soft schedule coming up, and the playoff chances, according to Fangraphs, have risen above 10%. Still, nothing to be proud of, all things considered with this team. 2, my nephew's birthday was on Saturday, and I was going to get him some onesies, and I was going to get him some sports onesies. Unfortunately, his father and my mother, or his mother, are a Bears fan, so I wasn't going to give him anything Vikings related because I knew the gift receipt would have been used right away. I wasn't ready to give him some Wolves stuff yet. I was curious, but they're not really a big basketball family. And then I had a decision to make. Twins onesies, Wild onesies. I took one look at that Twins onesie and said, my nephew cannot wear that right now. He does not. The Twins do not deserve to be on my nephew for his daily clothing and spitting up and burping. I don't even want that. They don't deserve it.
Well, that would be fitting. I think it'd be fitting.
It would be a little more fitting, but I didn't want him on that. So I got him they don't deserve even a onesie. They don't even deserve my nephew's wearing them proud. I couldn't even give him that. The Twins, it's nothing to be proud of.
Are we too hard on the Twins have played 500 baseball for a stretch here. They just beat Cleveland 2 out of 3. And the White Sox have opened the door a little for them to creep back within single digits in the standings here. Are we being too hard on the Twins? Should we be rooting for them to turn this thing around in the next week or two? Do they deserve the benefit of the doubt here over the next couple weeks?
No.
Not right now. If they reel off 15 consecutive wins, I'll change my tune. But here's the other thing, too. And I know that fans are excited by this, but the reality is they are now for essentially a month playing within their division, and their division is awful. Kansas City is terrible. The Tigers are terrible. The Twins are terrible. I just watched Cleveland. They ain't good. Their starting staff is basically on the IL, okay? So I guess my question is this. Are you really going to get excited if they make a run within this division when in late July they're going to come out of that and start to play real teams again and probably get beat? Okay? So don't give me this, well, look at who they're beating. They're beating, it doesn't mean a thing. The division stinks. I wish they were in a good one. Look at the American League East, you guys. Look at those teams. Like the Yankees are buried, they'd be a good team in the Central. So no, I think we are being incredibly fair. And when you know what the bet, as bad as the Twins did for essentially 2 months, you don't get my applause for beating up Cleveland pitching that's not good. Sorry.
Yeah, this team isn't very likable. There's just there's something off about this team. You know, if they want to win 10 games in a row here and show a different personality, then all right, we can reevaluate. All right.
It's to me.
Back to Judd.
All right. So I went to the game on Saturday. Mm-hmm. You might be aware there was no game, but I went to it. Here's my statement. And this is a baseball thing. So it's a Twins thing, but it's a baseball thing. If the radar, and God bless it, the radar is a great thing, all right? I'm not bashing it. We got a good one downstairs. Channel 5, Eyewitness News, good radar. But if the radar shows rain, and it doesn't hit within a half hour of first pitch, this sport needs a must-start rule. And I know what the comeback is. Well, what about pitching? I mean, if it rains, and then I don't care about your pitching. Teams use openers constantly now. Don't give me this crap. When you have fans in the stands expecting to see a game, and you bang a game, which they did, and then it drizzles, but it doesn't really rain, you look stupid. You have charged customers for beers. You have charged them for food. You have not given what you promised, which is a game. And I know they can redeem their tickets, but here's the other just grand ripoff of this entire thing. So they have scheduled now a split doubleheader to make up this game. I believe it's on September 14th. Split doubleheader is the key word here. 2 admissions, both games, 7 innings. That's ridiculous. That shouldn't be allowed. But anyway, the main thing is this. If it's not raining, you need to start the baseball game.
So I saw Royce's column in the Star Tribune, and I don't know if he was reporting this or if he was just using his
on Rocco?
50 years of baseball acumen, right?
Yes, I don't know
he's
either.
saying that Rocco didn't want to play the game on Saturday because they had a bullpen game on Friday.
Yes.
And those 2 guys they called up from the minor leagues to basically eat a bunch of innings and give up a bunch of runs, that those guys wouldn't have been available on Saturday, even though they had an off day on Wednesday. So it wasn't like they had been playing 14 straight games and No. So Rocco didn't. So Royce's saying Rocco didn't want to play Saturday so he could get his bullpen back for Sunday, which would make sense. But you can't let that. And I don't know if that had any influence or not. We can talk to Pat about it on Unchained.
Well, the radar didn't look good. But you know what? I don't care. Like, start the game and don't tell me about, well, we'll lose a pitcher. First and foremost, you're conducting a business, and your business is to play baseball games. Figure out how to get around it. I really don't care. And plus, these 2 teams stink. Like, call Astudillo back from St. Paul and have him pitch for all I care.
No,
but I'm just saying, this is not like a pennant race. Oh, this might have implications game. You had fans there. Play the damn baseball game and quit being so cute. I mean, they literally will play at times through rain if they've started the game. But in this case, it's not raining, and the expectation of rain caused them to bang it because they're going to say, well, the pitching's important. Well, the fans are important too.
I also think part of this too, and you have to admit this is part of it, almost everything they do now, if it doesn't turn out right, we're just immediately going to jump on them, right?
I actually jumped on them for this previously. They pulled this stunt before, and I've jumped on them every time because they're essentially turning their ballpark, and look, with a game, this is fine, into a huge bar. And they're making money off, what, Dex? $11 beers?
Oh, that's a steal. If you can get $11
Okay.
beer at Target Field, let me know.
But as Patrick points out, it's essentially around there, $12 or more to park.
Right.
So that's my point is baseball needs to be far more concerned with its customer. Quit pissing off your customer. I like your sport. Stop.
All right, next statement from me here. Hector Santiago is still in the big leagues.
I know it is in your town.
That's the statement.
I thought
The statement is Hector Santiago is still in the big leagues. So he became the first pitcher They've been doing all these ever since last Monday. They've been doing all these checks every time a pitcher walks off the mound. You got the umpires come in with their investigative gloves and magnifying glasses, and so he had something on the inside of his glove. And by the way, all right, we know Hector a little bit. All right, Hector's probably most famous for being a paid contributor, a weekly guest on the old Mackey and Judd show in 2017.
Yes.
However infrequent his appearances became, despite the fact that he was a paid contributor, paid to have conversations with us every week, which, of course, leads to the second question. Why the hell would you guys pay Hector Santiago to be a weekly guest on your show?
Because we lost Trevor May. That's why.
Which leads to another question. Why would you at that time pay...
We were desperate. I think Royce was like, he'll be pretty good. Because like when he wanted to talk early before it went south, he was okay. But then once it went south, he quit calling and he gave really short answers. And when you're a paid contributor, our expectation is you'll at least answer the questions.
And the real answer is Glenn Perkins had been our guy for like 3 or 4 years. He tore his arm up. We wanted Glenn back, but the powers that be at 1500 ESPN said, well, we want someone who's actually going to be in the clubhouse on a regular basis. We're like, honestly, if it's between Hector Santiago and Glenn Perkins, Glenn Perkins can be in his basement for all we care. But Hector walks off the mound, the umpires check his glove, and I would say file that away in the least shocking things ever, that slot-balling lefty at the end of his career is still trying to get a little bit of an edge. Nothing to lose for him, right? Because you don't get suspended without pay. You're just...
No, it's a 10-day vacation.
You're just on vacation. Yeah, so Hector Santiago, still in Major League Baseball.
He, and I love the fact that they then immediately bagged his glove and like sent it to New York where it's going to undergo forensic evaluation now because they're going to try to see. Because he's like, it's just rosin. I wonder if you lied, Hector.
Yeah, it's just rosin. You could just... All right. Any other statements from you guys before we wrap the week here?
Oh, I got a few more here. I mean, guys, I got beer. I got beer and statements. That's what I got.
Fire
and I
away.
drank all my beer. In fact, my kidneys sort of hurt. I drank too much beer.
Geez.
Yeah,
Your kidneys?
yeah.
That's not a good sign. Yeah, I drink a lot, and my kidneys don't hurt. Granted, I'm young, but still.
I was gonna say I'm 51 though, Dex. It's true. You just wait till you're 51. Okay.
Boy.
My next statement is this: I hope to God that TNT's studio show for the National Hockey League finds a way to involve Charles Barkley all the time. I mean, Charles Barkley, but who's a hockey fan. In fact, I guess he's a Tampa Bay Lightning fan because he was talking about it last night on Inside the NBA. But Charles Barkley needs to be on that coverage. He is that good. He will make people who don't give a rip about hockey watch that studio show.
So who's confirmed? Wayne Gretzky's confirmed.
Yeah, and that's going to be boring. He's not going to rip anybody. He's going to be milquetoast. He's going to be the Joe Montana of 2021.
But
Montana
he's a
was
huge
terrible.
name, so they're trying to get people to watch, right?
Yeah,
but
I mean,
has anybody
he's not
else
gonna
been confirmed? Who's the Ernie Johnson?
I don't think they've confirmed that, right, Dex?
For the NHL guys, for play-by-play?
For TNT studio shows.
Not for TNT studios. Like
It's just
ESPN's
Gretzky.
been ramming up Gretzky. They got someone else too, Messier for ESPN.
ESPN got him.
Yeah.
He might say a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might rip people.
Is Barry Melrose still going to be part of it for ESPN?
Of course he will.
I just want Stephen A. I want Stephen A. talking puck.
He'll be good too.
So bad.
Oh, he will.
So bad.
He won't know a thing about it, and it won't matter. It'll be fun.
I love it. Stephen A. just on the ice in his dress shoes after games, just spewing takes to the camera.
But anyway, I want Barkley on there. And you know what? If Shaq wants to join, let Shaq join too.
Dude, I would want.
Barkley and Shaq are so good together.
Inside the NBA and the playoffs is the best show on television. Like
Yeah.
I could watch playoff editions of Inside the NBA for 20 hours straight and not get bored. I think Inside the NBA and Good Morning Football are just like, as far as all the talking head studio shows across all the different sports channels, the TV ones anyway. There's a lot of YouTube stuff that's blossoming too, but Inside the NBA and Good Morning Football are absolutely on to the right formula. Like fun, tongue-in-cheek, self-aware, entertaining, but they can break it down as needed. I mean, like last night, they're trying to break down this key playoff game between the Bucks and the Hawks, right? And like Shaq keeps pushing things on his phone and playing things on speakerphone. and it just turns into like a huge argument over like why Shaq has his phone out, right? Like
And he took it away. They took it away from him.
The
Ernie
show
did,
just
yeah.
evolves, and then I don't know, man.
But anyway, I want Barkley talking hockey.
Yep.
here for it.
Like
Definitely
a guy
here for
like
it.
you, Phil, would watch Barkley talking hockey.
Yeah. Well, so Turner put together for a while. They had a pretty good formula with their baseball postseason show. Casey Stern, and then there was a weird situation there, falling out.
Yeah.
Like the company didn't support him through some major family issues and whatnot. But then like Pedro, they had some personalities, Gary Sheffield and Jimmy Rollins, but they could never quite replicate what TNT has with inside the NBA because of Charles Barkley, right?
Yes.
Like the
He's
minute that
linchpin.
Charles Barkley or Ernie Johnson have to retire or go away from that show, I don't know who you replace. I don't know who you replace Ernie Johnson with.
I think it's
I
possible.
love Kenny Smith, but like you could replace Kenny Smith with like Draymond Green, and that show wouldn't miss a beat. I don't think you could replace Ernie Johnson or Charles Barkley.
No, it's so perfect. The formula is so perfect. But I just love the fact that Barkley doesn't care. He's funny, but I mean, he also doesn't care. He doesn't care what you think. He can't be canceled. Like that's the incredible thing for all
Easy.
for all of cancel culture. He has. Do you know some of the stuff he's done? And
I don't think you
didn't
can
get
say
canceled?
that he can't be
Can't
canceled.
be canceled. Yes. I
Okay,
concur.
it's
Everything
very,
is cancelable in 2021.
okay.
We could be canceled.
He has done things. Oh yes, we could be for sure. But I'm just saying, Barkley has done things
kinda were, actually.
that have gotten people canceled. He has done the thing in Phoenix in the car gets most people fired.
What did he do in the car in Phoenix?
He had a lady friend in the car who was doing something for him, and he basically came out and said, "Yeah, I did it. It's fantastic." And he got caught, and he didn't get canceled.
When was this?
Just Google it. It's probably like 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, just Google it.
Not that long ago. But anyway, the
Charles
point
Barkley,
being,
car Phoenix.
Yeah, car woman.
the point being, if that's an ESPN person, you're done.
Charles Barkley, car woman Phoenix.
Yep.
2008 police report. Barkley
That's a long time.
in hurry to get.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
He told police he was in a hurry to receive.
Yes. This is
From
the
a,
yes. This
from
is what
a
I'm saying.
female passenger when he ran.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
But think about that.
What? Hey man, let a
Hey.
guy, can a guy just sit here and enjoy himself?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, my God.
This is quite a while. It's 13 years. I think the climate has changed a lot in 13 years too.
Okay.
So he was in a hurry to receive
I forgot it was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
pleasure from a female passenger when he ran through a stop sign drunk early Wednesday.
That's what I'm saying.
The report released late Wednesday by Gilbert Police details how Barkley not only made candid references to his impending rendezvous with an unnamed woman for pleasure, but how he at least half seriously implored a civilian police employee to help him get out of the DUI bust. He was very respectful and cooperative. It was a very routine DUI arrest, but apparently he was... Barkley said he was disappointed that I put myself in that situation. No. But apparently he was saying, like, this is why I'm in a hurry.
Yes.
Gal.
He basically, at some point in time, after the fact, said it was worth it too because it was so good.
Okay.
I'm just saying, Charles Barkley can do things most people can't do.
All right.
I'm not criticizing him. I'm saying it's
Put it in, write that down on Wednesday. Charles Barkley will never be canceled. Let's see how long that prediction stays on the board.
I might do that actually.
Yeah. All right, boys. That's a wrap on today's Mackey and Judd statements, presented in part by Federated. If you're looking for insurance, whether it's for being
How are you gonna spin this one,
canceled
Phil?
or well, you don't want your business to incur any unnecessary risks. Let's put it that way. You can find a full list of industries Federated protects at federatedinsurance.com. And it's the summer months now, too. Storm season can knock out various electrical things, whether it's internet or safety systems. You want to make sure that you have eyes in the sky for you, and that's what Federated provides. Federatedinsurance.com to find a full list of resources. And remember, at Federated, it's our business to protect yours. If you guys have any, listen, sometimes we can't scour all of the internet. And so if you guys see any reckless speculation items that pertain to the Wild, the Timberwolves off seasons, we want them.
Yep.
I don't care if it's hoops hype. Like, we want them. Send them to us. You can email us through the SKOR North app. There's a feedback link at the bottom, and you can just send an email to us or tweet those links at us, and we will bring them up on the show. Summer of speculation, baby.
Can I say, too, if you want to home brew them as well, we take them.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, if you home brew the reckless speculation and you're like, you know what? This sounds crazy. I wonder if I should submit this. We'll never mock you for it. We'll probably talk about it.
Yeah, we will never call your trade ideas stupid in a public forum, all right?
Public forum. The Mackey and Judd group text is a different animal.
Yeah, the Mackey and Judd group text. We have seen some local media outlets will crap on your trade ideas, okay? Your trade ideas are safe here on SKOR North and on the Mackey and Judd show. See you guys tomorrow.